Good morning. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. The book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon Kindle and Create Space. A link will be in the description box below as usual. This one is entitled The MLK Day Blues. It's a holiday. Martin Luther King holiday. Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. Black History Month is coming up. And it's a celebration. But sometimes for me it's blues. I get a little sad. Tell you why. First and foremost, the history. See, Martin Luther King died, and people romanticize like the man that got killed was the man who said, I have a dream. That wasn't the reason he got killed. Okay, and we don't want to live in the reality, right? The reality was he spoke out against the war. He spoke out against poverty and all the things that he started speaking towards America owing black people money, and how America has given all these other groups of people money to get ahead and money off of black people that should be intended for black people in the first place. This was after, the Civil Rights Bill was signed. So people forget, and even my own people forget that. Even my own parents say, "Oh, I just forgot," and I'm like, that's not cool. So and every year we get deeper and deeper down this rabbit hole of romanticizing that. Oh, the man said I have a dream and then he got shot. And the same things that some of us, people who want us to do better, seem to forget that he got killed for saying the very same things that made us that some of us are talking about today. See, by the time he died, Martin Luther King was saying the same thing that Malcolm X was saying, and saying the same thing that the Black Panthers were talking about. They were all speaking the same thing at the time, And my blues is, we are all so disjointed at times because we don't realize that, how we're going to celebrate this man on his day. And if we're not even going to take the time to realize why the day exists and what he meant and what he died for, and what it represented. Like, for everybody who says the Colin Kaepernick thing, he took a knee and everybody's on Colin Kaepernick's bandwagon. I'm not mad at you. But on a day like today, you gotta take issue with the idea that Colin Kaepernick said he wouldn't vote. Because a lot of that stuff that you remember with the marching and getting hit upside the head, getting stabbed in the chest, a lot of that had to do with voting. So you can't you take the good with the bad, but you got to understand it in context, okay? Which is a problem, And I'm not trying to disrespect people or call people to the carpet and blah blah, throw people under the bus. This is not what this is. But it is the point that needs to be made, for another reason is blues, because I did a video recently about interlopers. All these other groups of people who aren't Black American, if they're black or if they're not black, have sit here and benefited off of the civil rights movement since his death. Do you see any of these people celebrating Martin Luther King? No, they don't. They'll be here telling you what black people aren't all year long, but this holiday represents everything that they're benefiting from. They wouldn't be here if it wasn't for people like Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King Day just is, in Black History Month, personifies basically all the things that we did that everybody else wants to take credit for or wants to benefit off of and act like isn't there, which is a problem for me. This is why I say it's my MLK Day Blues, because we, should be celebrating it harder than anybody else, first and foremost, which is another problem. We don't celebrate it enough. Unfortunately, the only thing that I can say that we take from MLK Day that we use in our culture on a daily basis is the happy birthday song with people's birthday. That's it. And that's lightweight, because all of us aren't speaking up. All of us aren't saying the tough things. And a lot of times, we equate Martin Luther King Jr. with pacifism. Same way people like Christians equate Jesus with being a pacifist. It wasn't the case. So, once again, this is part of my MLK Day Blues, right? One of the other things is people forget about his brother, and it says a lot when you see and another thing is for the last few couple years, how can I say this? His extended family has really been on one. And it's like, if the family's pimping out his name and legacy, my uncle, he would, no. We could see right through what y'all doing. Because, your uncle would not get pulled into the media as a prop, every year near his holiday, near Black History Month at the time when he was living, before he had a holiday. You know what I'm saying? And this is Martin Luther King, and he's gonna say for us, we don't want to say for ourselves. This is our prop. Y'all tripping. Y'all are really tripping. And to see the family disrespect the legacy on a regular basis, it's problematic. That's why it's like my MLK Day Blues. That's it's not cool. And then I think, and at least for a day, this should be a day where it's not just about Martin Luther King. It's not just, it's about Black families. Because you got to remember, he was a father, he was a husband. A husband first. He was a husband and he was a father. And people dismiss the impact that losing your parent in that manner has on those kids, Also, the other leaders that came behind him. People didn't really, people were a little hesitant and afraid after that. And I can understand people got tired of the death. I get it. Because, in American history, Martin Luther King, at least for the civil rights movement, is the ultimate martyr. The one that the white people made the biggest martyr. But at the same time, we can't disagree with him being the martyr the way he was, right? The other thing, always the belief that, he was cheating on Coretta. We don't bring up all his positives, but we bring up, he was cheating on Coretta, like as we know, because of J. Edgar Hoover said he might have been. Like, J. Edgar Hoover wasn't a believable individual. He wasn't a good guy. But the same thing with, now Malcolm X is gay, and and all these people jumping in the mix of the Bayard Rustin supporters now, and it's like, come on, man. Like, everybody has this micro hate going on to figure out a way to discredit a man who's been dead, almost 50 years. At some point, we have to respect our dead and the people who sacrificed for us. And the most important thing I would say about that is this. You know, I remember the Boondocks episode. We actually have to come together as people, and this is why I have an issue with this day. Sometimes makes me sad because we need to do better by each other. You know, and we as a group aren't doing good by each other as a group. We you know, we're not a unit. We're not mobilized. We're so all over the place, and there's too many opportunistic people, and there's too many nuances and too many factions, and most importantly, there's too much gray area in right and wrong. Like, we're not treating right and wrong like properly. So, you know, I would salute Martin Luther King Jr., his brother, Malcolm, Medgar, you know, Rosa, sheesh, the countless people that died, the countless people that marched, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, Marcus Garvey, you know, all of our activists, you know, Jesse, Farrakhan, you know, to everybody. I mean, but we have to. We can't let their sacrifices go in vain, and I hope we get that. You know, we can't waste. Like, here's the thing: they didn't waste their youth turning up. They wasted. And I can say that now. It seems like they wasted their youth fighting for generations coming who don't appreciate anything, and we're wasting their sacrifices by turning up, and that bothers me. All right, yo, peace.